He's recording now.
We were recording the whole time.
Yeah, we're all going to jail. Hey, I'm Mike from Bridge Bike Works here with.
Oh, sorry, my
Fuck
bad.
that up already. Well, should I just allow you to introduce yourself then? I'm Mike from Bridge Bike Works. I'm here with Charlie and Tyler from Fretori. Tell me about yourselves, guys.
Yeah, my name's Charlie. I manage from Toronto to Ottawa for the agency. We essentially manage the relationships between independent bike stores for Shimano Canada and actually Bridge Bike Works. And I work with Tyler closely.
I'm Tyler, and I manage the west side of the province, so Toronto and west, and then also Barrie and north.
So what's the response been, guys, so far with local dealers and Bridge?
Honestly, it's been really positive. Every retailer that we speak to really likes the sort of idea that it's a rite of passage if you're a bike store in Ontario to be able to get access to a bike that's made in Ontario. So that's been really positive. Anyone who has had a chance to ride one hasn't been not impressed, and that's double negative. But what I mean there is everyone seemed very impressed with the bike. It seemed very versatile. So the conversations have been extremely positive. Tyler, how about your account?
Yeah, so with my account base, I mean, the idea of a bike that, has that increased tire clearance so that you can ride it as either a gravel bike or a road bike, essentially, has been something that they've been looking to add to their lineup. So it's been very positive as well.
You guys are both super strong riders. Charlie, a little more of a road background. Tyler, more of a mountain bike background, which I think is great perspective because we wanted this bike to really go from road to gravel in a great way. So how have your experiences kind of affected your time on the bike, and what are your thoughts so far after a few months of riding?
Naturally, I tend to ride a little bit more pavement. Tyler, it's obviously my first love riding. I've also set my bike up a little bit differently than Tyler. I'm running road pedals. Interestingly enough, I'm running wider tires, but they are slick. Generally speaking, I found the bike to be really responsive and really at home and planted in basically every scenario I can think of. And where I really got impressed was in places like this, off-road. It seems very stable. And then also I've been fortunate to switch wheels, put some pure road wheels on, and head out to a Thursday night club ride out in Peterborough with the Shimano riders. And yeah, I was able to hold on to a really fast-paced road ride. We averaged over 40 an hour for 50K. It was full on. The bike really can do a lot of things, and if you are looking for a quiver killer of a bike, I actually do genuinely believe it checks that box. And I traditionally haven't been that guy in pure road bike and pure gravel bike. This bike really blurs the lines a lot. So, Tyler, you have a little different ride.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the main thing is, on my drop bar bikes, I really like when the bike never feels like it's working against you. And this is super snappy, light, fast, but doesn't sacrifice anything about a comfortable ride while doing that. And then with that increased tire clearance, I am able to, choose any road that's in front of me.
We're obviously we're proud to build Bridge bikes here in Toronto. We kind of do everything under one roof. But from a rider's perspective, from a sales rep perspective, what does that locally made quality mean to you guys, and how has it manifested itself on the road or with the people you're talking to about the bike?
Honestly, it's kind of what we try to do as an agency. Like, one of the principles that we kind of operate by is we live what we sell. So for us, it's really important to believe in the products and what we're doing. So we live what we sell, so we use what we're selling. And so for us, that's first and foremost, what is important to us. So I think just from that standpoint alone, how can you argue with a Toronto-made bike, which for us is a great talking point right out of the gate. And so that's really what it means. And it's so unique because there isn't another bike that we're aware of in the carbon space, at least, that's actually made here in Canada, and specifically our territory. So for us, that really just aligns with our principles and how we want to operate with authenticity, but want to really be able to stand behind what we sell it. And obviously Shimano checks that box, Bridge checks that box for us. Tyler, you might have something to add.
Yeah, I mean, I think the what really stood out to me on our first factory tour, I also went to school for industrial design, so it was really interesting for me to see the commitment to quality that you're able to have full control of over manufacturing in house. And one of the things that really stood out to me that Frank said on our first tour was, "Who makes your bike?" And that's been a really interesting question to raise with our dealers and our dealer network. And you know, it's true. You can't really answer that question unless it's made locally.
You guys are both riders who are on the stronger, racier end of the spectrum. So how's that experience been in terms of not is the bike good looking, is the build quality, but really the ride experience in terms of pushing it and how it responds?
The bike just feels really intentional. I think that's really what I've noticed about it. I've been fortunate to work in this industry for over a decade now, and I raced before that. So I have a lot of experience riding really nice bikes. And this is absolutely one of my favorite bikes I've ridden. And obviously there's some clear bias there, but I'm saying that with, a genuine feeling. We were so excited when we got our bridges. We had our kickoff events that we wanted to keep them perfectly clean for. And Tyler decided I can't wait. And that was that. And so, it was so hard to not ride them. And once we got on them, it was interesting because a lot of the times you're expected to be overwhelmed, but I actually was. And the bike, I was just so surprised as soon as I took it into a trail as well. That was really what was the part that impressed me. I was meeting up with a friend to go for a road ride, and then we decided to hop in a trail, and it was pretty fun. So, and Tyler's first experience, I'll let him describe it, but all I remember was a blitz of text messages. This bike's a rocket. I love this bike. I
Yeah,
won't use the exact language, but it was really exciting.
yeah. For myself personally, we've been very fortunate to ride a lot of really great bikes. Both Charlie and I, you mentioned a bit of a bias there. We had actually bought bridges before we were going to be repping them. We truly believed in the bike. The geometry seemed spot on. And the bike definitely delivered on that. When I got it out and was actually able to ride, uh, it's a very hard thing to actually put into words how this bike rides. And I'm trying to capture that with saying that it's light and snappy. It gives you everything that you put into it, but it doesn't do that with sacrificing anything on the ride quality side. It's super comfortable. It seems stable. But when you get up and go, it goes with you, and it's very, very impressive.
In a world where, high-end performance bikes have gotten pretty expensive, I mean, you get amazing technology for what you spend, but, bikes aren't cheap anymore. What do you think the value proposition that you see from Bridge is for your customers and your dealers?
You're definitely right. It's a ubiquitous thread of conversation how expensive bikes have gotten, in particular high performance. So it's not realistic for a lot of people to have multiple bikes. So a nice road bike, nice gravel bike, nice mountain bike, or e-bike. And so you need a bike that can really do a lot of things. I think the value proposition for Bridge is that you can literally do a lot of things with it. Depending on how you decide to build it, or if you want to have multiple wheels, but I would argue you don't even need to have multiple sets of wheels for this bike. You can have one bike that can pretty much be at home in a lot of ways. So for that one purchase of a bike, you get a lot of versatility. And I don't think that versatility is matched, at least to our awareness, anywhere else. Maybe in future there will be, but this bike does actually hit the mark there. Maybe Tyler has a couple of things to add.
Yeah, for the dealer network that I'm working with, gravel's obviously extremely popular, but they still have a lot of riders that do like to ride road, and they've been really excited to be able to offer that customer. General everyday bike rider still doesn't want a bike that is heavy and unruly or anything like that, and they're able to offer this bike to their customer set. One bike, two wheel sets, or even like Charlie said, one bike with just a good set of all-round wheels that this rider's feeling really at home on.
So we designed the bike to be a great fast gravel bike, 40 mil tire clearance, but we were really also focused on having it perform really well when set up as a road bike. So short chain stays, pretty snappy handling. You were talking about that kind of quiver killer. Do you feel like when you're going to the extremes of pure road or pure gravel, the bike does everything you want it to?
In my experience, honestly, when you first told me that was the goal with the bike 2 years ago when we ordered ours, I didn't believe it was going to be at the extreme ends particularly good. I knew it was going to be a good bike, but I wasn't confident that when I'm in a group on the road wheels on, going full gas, that I would actually be in the mix. But I definitely was, and I didn't feel I was at a disadvantage at all. And in my experience off-road, where I've been doing some of the gnarly stuff you see in here, it's fast. It's very planted. Not to brag, but I did get the KOM along the cut here, which is a little bit coveted, and I was accused of cheating, which is great. Tyler?
For myself, I actually purchased the Bridge, like you said, to be my fast gravel bike. I don't have another gravel bike. It was meant to be the gravel bike in my quiver, but I think, I can keep it really simple and say that I haven't ridden my dedicated road bike yet this year. So this bike hasn't sacrificed anything on that front for me yet.
Charlie, Tyler, thanks for coming out, riding, talking about the bike, and appreciate you guys representing our company in a great way. So thanks for being here, and any final thoughts about Bridge or the Surveyor?
No, thank you for the opportunity. We're very grateful to be here. This is just so unique. I could never have predicted this in my career, and I know Tyler is a little newer to the industry to me. He's now 4 years in, and I feel like he's a veteran and knows what he's doing. And very grateful to be here and appreciate the opportunity and love our bikes.
Yeah, proud to both represent and ride a Bridge.